everybody, to another BOMA Idaho Thursday conversation. Today's Thursday. Today is Symposium Day. We just wrapped that up, 3 hours ago now? Jana, first of all, before we do anything at all, Jana, thank you so much for making that event happen. Clearly, that would never, ever happen without you. Any praise that I get or Kelly gets or anybody else gets is 100% for you, not us, because you did 99.9999% of the heavy lifting of the work on that thing. So thank you for all your hard work, and it definitely does not go unnoticed how hard you work and everything it takes to make that happen.
Aw, thanks you guys.
Of course.
I didn't know when we looked at the calendar, when we were looking ahead to the calendar, we're like, oh my gosh, our next time we're going to talk to each other and record this little conversation is going to be on Symposium Day. How are we going to feel on that day? Because I know when we've had in-person events, how exhausted I am afterward.
Yeah.
How just totally wiped out when you're there and you're, with 500 people, and it's just a different animal, right? And I was honestly didn't even know how I feel. And I'm so excited just to even talk about it in past tense.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're on the other side of it now.
Yep, it was so great, you guys. We're so happy that everybody participated in it. And we had a few offices with groups, that were watching. They had it on in their conference room. People were coming and going or whatever. Yep. So I estimate we had about 300 people on at any given time during the event. And then we doubled the size of our kickoff event yesterday. We only had about 100 people last year at our very first one that we did. We had over 200 people yesterday stop and pick up their boxes and come visit with the trade show booths and hang out outside in the freezing cold weather.
It was so bizarre. I went to both of them. I told you guys this yesterday. The BVA one was, it wasn't warm out by any stretch, but it was pleasant standing out there. The one at the AGC was freezing. It had to have been 20 degrees colder there. It was crazy.
So I was not warm the rest of the night.
Yeah. I don't know if I finally this morning.
I just kept my jacket on.
I finally felt warm. Yeah.
I was drinking hot cocoa and the whole bit. It was really cold. But you know what? It was so much fun to see everybody. And there were some people that would come up, and if they were comfortable shaking your hand or bumping elbows Michelle Crenshaw, I didn't even give her a chance to say anything before I gave her a big hug.
Right. I would have done the same thing.
Sorry. I should have asked you. I just, just missing people so much and wanting to interact with them and be with them and just to share experiences. And it was all, how has the last year gone for you? How are you feeling? What's changed? What's new? We saw people that had changed, moved, their residences, moved their offices, changed companies, gotten married. Just different things in the last year that when you're with them all the time, you keep up on these. In
a normal year, stuff that we would know about, but when you don't see them for a whole year,
you just
crazy how much changes.
At once.
Exactly, yeah. And I found myself doing that too, finding something that I hadn't talked to in a while, and just all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I should let you say something, man, because I just told you everything.
You know everything about me right now.
Yeah.
It's, kids graduating, kids off to college, having new grandbabies. Just this huge variety of people and news and happenings and just being able to be with them. So for that, it has been a really long road the last few months getting to this point. And I feel like that we're going to get a lot more traction even after this event today, because this information is still going to be valid, right? People are still going to want to know what's going on in Idaho. And one of the things I thought was really good in the conversation today was, these coastal cities are moving inland. The people out on the coast right now, and you walk in their downtowns and it's empty, and it's Seattle and Oakland, the devastation that's going on in those places and people coming here. I met a guy yesterday who started with Roundhouse, and Roundhouse has participated in our event in the past. And he started 2 weeks ago, moved his family here from Southern California, lucked out finding a house. He's been working for 2 weeks. He said he's barely had time to even unpack or see his kids, because he's been, they've been to hit the ground running here. But they jumped in and were part of Symposium. And so it just stories like that. He was visiting with someone from AAA Roofing who's from California, who's here. And so just them swapping stories about how much they love Idaho.
Yeah.
and how much they love being here and the community and just the feeling that people get here. It was just so rewarding to sit and listen to that, you know, and to watch BOMA bring everybody together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So I loved that. And I loved some of the comments that all the social media posts, you guys. The social media posts from yesterday with people like, posing with their boxes.
Totally.
You know, unwrapping their boxes, like showing like little teasers with their boxes, like, whoop, am I going to show you? Nope, I'm not.
And there were a lot of, it wasn't one or two. There were a whole lot of people that did that, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah. The boxes were a hit. And then the cookies too. There were a lot of people. You know, we had Whitney's custom cookies do the BOMA cookies. In fact, I have, look at this. Hold on.
You have some left.
I have this many left. That's all.
That's impressive. Those would be gone hours ago in my house.
I know. Yeah. And so we had people like, you know, posing with their BOMA.
They're so cute.
And giving a shout out to Whit's Custom Cookies. She did a great job.
Yeah, that was really good.
And to imagine making 300 cookies like that and writing out every one of them.
No.
Yeah, that's a crazy task.
They're delicious too. So if there's someone else, I've got cookies left over. If somebody doesn't have a cookie and you want one, just shoot me too. I'll bring one.
Yeah. So I was really relieved by the end of it. Obviously really relieved when it was over. But I was super relieved that one, like, everything worked the way it was supposed to. I mean, I had some anxiety for sure about, oh my God, if we get into this thing, you know, there's 300 people on here and like the platform doesn't work or their internet doesn't work or mine doesn't work or, you know, whatever, Jeff's doesn't work, like, you know, what the hell are we going to do? And that was never, ever an issue at all. So I was so relieved with that.
Yeah.
It ended up so seamless.
Yeah. And that's what most of the feedback that I got was people texting me like, hey, that was so good. Like, that it was seamless, that it just looked so easy. I'm like, well, I'm glad it looked easy. You know, that means we did a good job if it looked easy.
Right.
I was surprised at how much people love the commercials. I was like, okay, we're gonna have 2 commercial breaks in here. If people can go grab a cup of coffee or whatever, and they're not like missing anything as far as the information goes. And we got so much feedback. Yeah. Almost as much feedback on the commercials as we did on Trevor.
On his socks. Yeah. I in the comments I was like, I wonder what socks Neil's wearing. Because he was wearing cowboy boots. And nobody really picked up on that. Like, he was probably wearing white athletic socks under those cowboy boots.
We need Neil to fill us in.
We are gonna have 25th anniversary BOMA socks next year. We gotta have them.
We are. Totally.
Yeah.
We gotta have them. So we're gonna order those through whoever Trevor got his socks.
Yeah. Whoever his sock guy is.
Yeah.
Trevor, who's your sock guy?
So Kelly, what's the feedback been about, you know, looking toward the future for BOMA? And you look so relaxed. I know you were not relaxed in that moment because I was there, but you looked so relaxed and sounded so relaxed in that moment and just so excited about the future. So talk about some of the feedback you've received.
I mean, everything I've heard so far has been so positive about this morning's event. But also, you know, and more of this was yesterday at the kickoff event. People are just excited to know what we're going to do this year and when we're all going to do stuff together. So everyone's just so excited. I mean, a virtual event is great, and you know, the networking that Remo provides is like so savvy and easy to use. But it's still not the same, right, as getting together and eating lunch together or playing golf or whatever it is. So that's the question I get the most is like, what are we doing this year? When are we going to do something? Like, we will, don't worry. We're excited.
Yeah, when I was at the BVA office parking lot yesterday, that was the whole conversation. Everybody was like, so we can just start doing events outside like this from now on, right? Like, we'll just do everything outside? I was like, yeah, probably. I don't know. Maybe.
Bring your vaccination card.
Yeah.
Outside again.
Yeah, we might have to wait a few months until it warms up a little bit.
It needs to warm up. We can stay virtual until it's warm enough.
Yeah. And maybe that's the solution. Yeah. I mean, use that platform because of all, I mean, just like you guys, this was certainly not the first, you know, conference like this that I've attended. And as far as the networking part worked, that was the coolest one that I've been a part of. Being able to, you know, I went to a bunch of different tables, and you know, every time I would change floors, I'd end up talking to John Paul in the at the help desk, which is super funny. So I talked to him like 5 times. But as far as all the other ones, yeah, that one worked great. And I feel like, moving forward in the interim, to use that platform again to do some of these networking things, I think would work really well.
I agree.
Yeah.
It was so fun. It was so much fun to see everybody. It was kind of funny. I was talking to Dre Campbell, and we were at one table and talking to each other. And then I said, "Okay, well, let's jump tables." And so all of a sudden we popped up at the same table again with like
Nice.
3 other people. Though we were like, "Hey!" So just people and visiting with them and hopping around from floor to floor, seeing who all was there. So that was super fun. Just being able to see everybody, and half the people forgetting that they were even logged into the event still and they didn't have their cameras or mics on, so they were just sitting.
I know. And walking around the tables like, who's actually here?
So yeah, I did that a couple times. Yeah, there was somebody I was excited to talk to. I get to their table, dude, and they weren't there. I was like, never mind.
No one's there.
Yeah.
Nobody's there.
That's okay.
They weren't there. That was super fun. And one of the things we did get back on feedback was, why didn't you guys do that before the event? We had that 15 minutes where we were just kind of waiting for the event to start, where we could have been networking. And we were, I think, just people logging in and setting up their profiles this morning got a little hairy. So we had to just sort of, because our registration, our attendance went like 10, 20, and I was like, oh my gosh, where is everybody else? And it went 100.
Yeah. And then 200. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was like, okay, people are figuring it out. They're getting in, but it took that first full 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes before we started for everybody to sort of get in there. And we didn't lose anybody until the very few. End of the program.
Very few.
People were engaged. I loved the conversation that was happening, the chat.
Yeah.
I thought that might be a little bit distracting, but for people out there, we're going to get copies of that, so we'll see, who was participating. But people were screenshotting socks and
yeah, that was pretty good.
Okay, but just talking about things that the panel was bringing up about interest rates and all this other stuff. The extra information that appeared in the chat and the questions and that sort of thing was really cool. Just to see real time feedback happening.
Absolutely.
So, that would be something that would be cool at a live event.
Seriously, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, we have that up on the screen, be able to do it via text or an app, and have it up there would be super cool. Or via that platform and you can be there. I would imagine be there and also have it on your screen at the same time. So you can use that functionality too. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was really cool just to see the immediate feedback to the information that was being shared and the positive feedback. I think people were so anxious to get all that information at once, being able to hear from all those people at once and kind of listen in on those conversations. I thought those were really well done. Those panels, Trevor did a great job. Scott did a great job moderating those panels.
Absolutely.
Hearing from everybody, getting their perspectives and just hearing some of the things that were tough, but also some of the lessons learned and what we're going to actually carry forward. Some of those, the silver linings that, people talked about and things that they'll continue to use. Some of the improvements that we made, they didn't really notice before. Well, they noticed what a pain it was when you had this specific situation. And now we just know how to do it. So we're going to implement this, on every job site or in every office and use this platform, use this, this specific thing. And it was a help. So that was some of the feedback I got. People loved the background on Kelly's president's message, that background.
Yeah.
People loved it. So OEC, the furniture was a big hit. It matched, it tied everything together. And the set was really cool. So we got some feedback on that, how that felt like people were sitting there, actually at the event, listening and at their table and eating their snacks that people got that they picked up yesterday. So that was, and then there was that kind of abrupt ending at the end of the networking part where it just sort of ended. I thought we were going to have a little sign off. And it just,
it just
and we're done. Yeah.
Krisjan's like, I'm ready. And then all of a sudden black. And I was like, that didn't happen. Yeah. So there's always these little glitches that happen at the live event that you can't go back and fix either.
Yeah, exactly. And all things considered, that was the biggest glitch we had. That. Yeah. Right. I'll take that. I'll take that every time.
Yeah, for sure. So, so I still had people like on LinkedIn messaging me, "Are we done? I can't get back into the event."
Right, is that it?
I was like, "Yeah, we're done. Sorry, that was kind of an abrupt ending, but we'll get back together again. We'll do that again." It was good. Format was really fun to see.
Well, and the cool thing about doing it that way is, I mean, just like with doing that, I mean, that opened it up. I mean, in a normal year, we probably couldn't have got Henry and Shelby to come to Boise to do that. So even for, monthly luncheons or whatever, if we were to do that, I mean, we can get, whomever from BOMA International or have Rod Coffin from Seattle come in and, talk to us about stuff or a combination of the two or whatever. So, I mean, I feel like that opens up a whole lot more possibilities that we really didn't have before.
Well, you think about that. I mean, we were listening in on a conversation. Shelby was in Philadelphia. Henry was in Washington, D.C. Jeff's here.
Yeah. And
we're listening in, to that conversation from those different parts of the country. And yeah, they're talking about, the issues across the country that we are all facing, right? And so, and just what BOMA's done to sort of mitigate some of that stuff and help out with some of that. I felt so proud. I was like, oh man, I've known this all along. That they rolled out all these helps, and when they brought out when they brought up all of the pamphlets that have come forth, the guides that have come forth, the civil unrest packet that came from Allied that we talked to David Tucker about, all those things that these members are working together to compile this information so that BOMA members can benefit. So
yeah, and I was thinking the same thing as they were talking about that. I mean, I was thinking, gosh, for people who are watching this who didn't realize how much BOMA does, behind the scenes with all that stuff. If they didn't know that, I mean, that's pretty clear now what BOMA really, really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you think about all the advocacy they do at the federal level, all the work they've done on the various stimulus bills and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's truly impressive what the clout that BOMA has.
Absolutely. And then, here in Boise, Idaho, that's not always stuff that we hear about necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, for us to know that is literally always going on is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Jeff to be here at the local level and for him to be, in his, what did he say, his third term of a 1 year.
Right.
Advocacy portion.
Yeah, he has a real good knack for getting locked into stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he's a perennial volunteer.
Yeah. You know what? He loves it. He loves the advocacy part. He loves codes, like building codes.
Yeah.
And to have someone like that as our watchdog here and that's, we don't have a lobbyist here locally, but we have people like him and like Justin Cranny at Holly Troxel who watch some of the happenings during the legislature to make sure that anything that affects our building owners and managers, our property managers, our brokers, our property owners, our landowners, anything that affects them as far as development or anything else, we have people watching out for that. So that just helps us to sleep better and to know that our members are being looked out for.
Absolutely.
So I loved it. I also loved that I got the best message from one of our sponsors who we had on last week on this conversation, from Cody.
Yeah.
Cody with Condoc, and they're kind of a newer, this is the second year that they've sponsored the event. And so he said, that they're doing he's like, we are in for a full membership, whatever support you need. This was so good for our company. And
nice.
So we were teasing him because he's not quite a member yet. He was working on that. And so it's, and I had people come to the event yesterday to pick up their boxes. And they were like, man, I said, you're not a member. No, I'm not. Well, you really should be. Oh, I know, I need to join. So it was a really good recruiting tool for us too, to be out there. People who attended this event who aren't members also.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of a cool side benefit that we now have probably 10 new members that we didn't have before.
Yeah, but I think, it gives, while virtual isn't anybody's first choice, it has all these other pros, and how many people you can reach, especially when it's a free event.
Right. I had one guy ask me on an email last night. I was out at the event, so I didn't get it till I got back, but he's like, do you think it's worth me driving an hour each way to come pick up my BOMA box? Is there really cool stuff in there? So, I don't know if he ever came to get it, but I'm like,
funny.
I'll flatten the box and send it to you because it is pretty cool. They have.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that cool, but it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I don't know.
We'll drop it in the mail for you, man. Yeah.
I'll send one right over.
Just for you.
That's funny.
That was kind of one of the funniest things that I was like, oh, for me, I don't know if I would drive an hour for the box. I would want to drop it in the mail to me. But anyway, just the fact that
cookies you put in.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
And it did stir up a lot of curiosity. So that was kind of
really
fun. I did see people posting about that. So that was
fun. As soon as when we took the photos, when I first got that box and took photos of it and started posting photos, but I had a ton of people, messaging me like, "What's in the box?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. You have to come get one and see," because I didn't know either. But I kind of played it off like I did.
You're like, "Well, mine's empty, but I hope."
This one, there's nothing.
Right, air.
Those were so fun, you guys. We had. Those were just packed full of such cool stuff from our sponsors. I love the BVA notebook, like the leather bound.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
It's like
the nicest book.
Really nice. And the Condoc pen, those are one of my favorite pens. They write really, I don't know. I'm always looking for a pen. You guys too, but I love that. I loved, the fun meter.
Yeah.
He was talking about, I liked, there was some cool stuff. CTR put a cool bottle opener thing in there.
Mm-hmm.
I thought was pretty good. It's metal. It's really heavy. And not all the boxes had the exact same things in them. So some of them had koozies. Some of them had those metal openers. And then Blueprint Specialties showed up with that cool. Krisjan, you were out there at BVA. Did you see those?
No. So in full disclosure, I forgot to grab myself a box. So I don't even know. So I literally never even opened a box. I was just playing along like, oh yeah, that stuff was cool, but I don't know what was in it because I never actually grabbed one or opened one.
Okay.
I carried a lot of them, but I didn't do anything. I forgot to grab myself one.
Okay, I have an extra one. I wondered.
I know you do. I know you do.
Okay, so Blueprint Specialties did these. Gosh, I'd have to read the text from him to figure out exactly what they are. But they're a cool thing that they wanted to hand out to architects and building managers and stuff like that. So I'll look it up and see what it is, because if you're one of those people, if you're an architect or you own a building, these things are pretty cool that they can put together. I thought it was really great. In fact, I just got a text from, who's this from? Jeremy Barber at HC said, great event today. So he was happy about that. That's cool.
Good.
So these are the kind of the things have been receiving all day today. But I'll look this up. Oh, here it is. They made ADA Braille signs they would like to distribute, and it has the BOMA Idaho.
Oh, nice.
So for
neat.
BOMA Idaho members, for businesses and buildings that are BOMA Idaho members, they made these. Can you see this?
Yes. Oh, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Cards that are a Braille sign for BOMA Idaho. And so we're, always trying to make sure that buildings have us displayed. These were metal plates that they made for buildings. So people like, architects and engineers and people who are construction workers, construction companies could put those in the buildings that they're BOMA members. And so I thought that was really super creative. Like, just when I think I've seen everything.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Right.
Super creative. Will over there, he can just do anything. So we love that guy.
Absolutely. So what do we do now? Meeting's over. What happens now?
Well, Krisjan, you've already put on, I see on the website, you've already put the videos up there.
Yep. Yeah, the two that we have, the one with Jeff, we don't have back yet. The very last one, but as soon as I see that, I'll pop that on there.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'll share this on social media and stuff here as soon as we're done here. I'll put this on LinkedIn and Facebook and everywhere, so everybody can watch those when they want to.
And
there were a lot of questions about the recordings being available, so
I think we're going to get a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
Things people want to go back and listen to, or if they missed part of it at a meeting or whatever, they can go back and listen to those panel discussions or see Krisjan.
Yeah. I'm sure that's why everybody's gonna go watch those. Well, and that's the awesome thing about having them on YouTube too. So we'll know how many people watch these. I mean, we have, that's a really easy metric to track.
And we've had so many views just on these that people have gotten on and watched these weekly things to see what's coming. So there are a lot of things coming up that we can talk about that I'm excited about. Like you, Krisjan, I had a lot of people saying, so we can meet like this every month. So can we start up our personal, in-person meeting?
Outdoors.
Outdoors. And so we're talking about doing a big cornhole tournament down at the park, renting a covered area, having a big outdoor, box lunch, something or other, and just doing it safely and still in person, having people get together and do something fun, right?
Yeah.
Having us get together and being able to interact. So we're definitely planning on that. We're planning still on having a summer activity. We're planning on doing a couple of building tours. We've talked to the new food hall that they're developing now in Twin Falls. We've reached out to them, and Lisa Budecki is a lady who we've talked about for a couple of years since we went over to Twin Falls and did like a little BOMA event over there a couple of years ago. She invited us to go on a virtual tour of their building. So we're going to take our cameras and go and take our BOMA members on a virtual tour of that.
Yay.
That'd be cool. And so we got that in the works. And then of course we're planning on the in-person golf tournament this year in September. So we are filling up our calendar, and I know we might want to do even one more. I think we're doing a legislative recap. Yeah. So we're going to do that virtually. But you know what? Our calendars, our social calendar is filling up.
It's about time. It's been empty for so long.
I'm so happy to have stuff on my calendar. So that that just makes me happy. It's no longer the unknown and what are we doing and are we going to survive this? It's okay. Yeah. We are surviving. We're coming out of it. And not only that, but BOMA, like Shelby mentioned this morning, is on the forefront of trying to get the essential personnel in these buildings on the list so they can get their vaccines and get people back into the buildings and so they feel safe doing so. And so, I'm just excited about how things went. I'm excited for BOMA's future and for all the help and assistance we've gotten from International, that we can pass that along to everybody and invite everyone to come and join us and this powerful network that we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
President.
Right before we started recording, that's what I told Kelly. I said, you know that for all intents and purposes, literally right now, you're the president now.
I know. Justin's probably sighing, making a sigh of relief right now.
Totally.
Technically, it's March 1st, but I know. Justin's gone.
Yeah.
But what a tough, second year for him.
Yeah, Justin, we just can't believe that he made it through it. That had to be tough as the president. And Kelly, you get the brighter days ahead portion.
Yay! And the first ever cornhole tournament.
Totally.
Those are the good worries to have. Like, how many people are we going to have to the cornhole tournament?
Will we have enough room for everybody? Yeah.
Will we have enough lunches?
Exactly. All good problems to have.
Yep.
And I don't want to be lighthearted about anything, and the last year's been hard on everybody. There have been a lot of people affected in such a big way. But I am so looking forward to moving forward and just making plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I guess that's what we do from now on, Krisjan, in these weekly conversations.
Yeah.
We talk about, some of the issues, because there are issues moving forward with some of this stuff and reoccupancy and stuff like that. So we'll have some good speakers coming in. We've got plans to have people come in and teach us about different, the way they're doing things differently now, and got interest in that. So I'm sure we'll just keep going, right?
Yeah. And this is a great, and doing exactly what we're doing now is a great forum for that. And when I had a bunch of people approach me yesterday when I was at BVA, the BVA parking lot, that watch this, like, dude, when can I go on the schedule to come on and like talk about what we do or whatever? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Yay. Yeah. So people are interested for sure. And what an easy, cool way to, expose people to other BOMA members who, they may or may not know because, we haven't seen everybody for a while. So.
So let's just roll that out there to anybody who's a BOMA member.
Yeah.
Call us, email us, get on the schedule. We'd love to have you as a guest on our little weekly conversation.
Yeah.
And if you're not a BOMA member and you want to be on, it doesn't take much to join. So come join us.
Right.
right here on the website. Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, well that's awesome. Jana, again, awesome work today. Awesome work in the last
Thank you so
3
much.
months. You know, putting this thing together. So, like I said before, it doesn't go unnoticed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been a great. I couldn't have done it without you guys. Honestly, the board has been incredible. Krisjan, our online.
Hardly did anything.
Couldn't have done it without you on that in that regard. So it's just definitely a team. You know, I have the whole 15-member board, and then I have my go-to people that are on the team, the staffers that help: Jennifer, Megan, Susan, who helped put this event together, and the magazine and the online stuff and everything. Idaho Business Review, Cindy over there, helping us get the word out there, and so many others that I'm grateful we have such a great team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kelly, have fun tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.